Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage. I hope you are all doing well. Today we'll be taking a look at the Makeine, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, the Too Many Losing Heroines set that is scheduled to come out on February 13th. I'm recording this before Christmas, so I'm just wanted to go ahead and knock some stuff out of the way, knock a couple of recordings out of the way, and I also definitely wanted to take a look at this because I feel this is going to be a very interesting set. I know I've been told a couple card effects that should be coming up in this, and I feel that warrants a little bit of discussion, so I've been chomping at the bit to even want to record this, but figured had to wait a little bit until it got closer. So let's take a look what we are looking at here. Obviously, they do showcase on the English Weiss site all of the different rarities and everything, and one of the biggest things, one of the biggest dubs of this entire set, I kid you not, we have actual SPs. Thank you, Bushi. I am being grateful for once. We appreciate this. This is not just like the Japanese ones. Like, this is the English. If you can read with your eyes, it clearly has the entire thing in English right here. So they got the confirmation to be able to use the English SP signatures and everything. That makes me so happy to see this. That alone is already a dub. So kudos. Thank you, Bushi. All right. Moving on. Also, we do have a couple other things like to show down here. I also like this. I mentioned this recently, as of the recording of this recently, on the Kaguya set, where the Kaguya set had the Weiss Schwarz cards in certain, like them holding the Weiss cards. I held up my hand in this recording, even though I'm a PNG, like I was holding up a card in my hand. I just forgot about that for a half second there. But I complimented Kaguya, the Kaguya set, on having the like these kinds of cards as well. Each of the girls holding up one, even though she doesn't have one because presumably it's in the sleeve. I don't think you're allowed to do that in the middle of a tournament, man. But the other ones having, like, being able to hold up the Weiss cards and everything, thought that was really cool. I like the inclusion of that. I did want to go through this really quick, though. I am going to make it be above my head. I'm not going to list off all of these just so it doesn't anger anybody, but it does say for sale worldwide except for the following territories if you want to go onto the English Weiss site and look for yourself, or take a moment here to look up here if there's any of y'all in these particular territories. I do greatly apologize, but obviously they're not going to be sold in those territories. I'm just glad we're getting it in America. So, but yes, let's hop right into this. Enough dilly-dallying. For anyone who's never seen one of my first impressions videos, I do at least try to highlight the double rares in every single color, and then after those, from the rares onward, I do just kind of glance through, and if there's any interesting effects or things that I think are cool, I do try to address those, just trying to give my thoughts on stuff and just try to get through it as quickly as possible, because it is a 100 card set, as you can see right there, as well as a trial deck. So I'm going to try to blitz through the trial deck. For the trial deck, I usually at least try to cover the climax combos, and if there's anything else worth talking about, we go from there. So let us start with the Lemon. It's a 0015 Lemon Youth, and Makeine is both. If I'm mispronouncing this, I'm so sorry if that's not what it's supposed to be called. I've just always called it that. Starting off with this one, we have when this is placed on stage from your hands, you can pay one, put the top card of your deck into clock. If you do search your deck for one youth character, immediately, hold on. So this is your typical Ricky. I don't know if this is a mistranslation. If it is, I'm so sorry for misinforming. But here it just says search for one youth character. The cost is that of a Ricky, but it's typically the Rickies, when you play these, search for like a level 1 or lower. I'm not seeing that level 1 or lower clause up here, so already that this is way better than most Rickies. Just grab any youth character, and once again, if this is somehow not correct, I'm sorry. I can only go based off of Weiss T's times translations, and I'm very, very sorry otherwise. Youth character added to hand. During this card's battle, when damage you take is not canceled this turn, it gets 1500 power, so it can go up to a 3k. Next is a 00 Chica. It's a 0025. If all of your characters are youth, this gets 1000, so it'll be 35. If you don't have another youth, this does not stand. And it's a clean cut. When the card battle opponent becomes reversed, choose one of your other youth characters, rest it, move to an empty back row slot. So very nice there. We have 2 more. There's a 103k Ana. During your turn, if you have 2 or more other youth characters, this gets 4k power. Note, it does have a soul trigger before I get to the climax combo. Very nice there. So obviously we're going to be working with choice when you see like the soul triggers and stuff like this. So it gets up to a 7k. With the choice, it'll be an 8k. When this attacks, if you have the choice in play, you have 2 or more other youth characters, look at up to X cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 youth character or an event amongst those, and add it to your hand. Send the rest to Waiting Room. X is equal to the number of your back row youth characters plus 3. So if you have 2, you can dig up to 5 with this. Huh, okay, interesting. Now, that also means even if you don't, you can still dig 3. Even if you have no back row characters, you could still dig 3, which is interesting right there. Also, I will showcase the SPs and the secret rares and everything at the end of the video. I will basically scroll back up through all of them until we showcase all of the arts and stuff. All right. Then we have a 3/2 Kaju. She is a 3/2 10k. When this is placed on stage from hand, if you have another youth character, heal 1. Always good. When this attacks, if you have the choice trigger in your climax area of 3 or more other youth characters, you can pay 2, discard 1 card, and reveal a particular 0/0 Kazuhiko from your hand. If you do 2 damage to your opponent, if that damage is canceled, you may deal 2 damage to your opponent. If that damage is canceled, you may deal 2 damage to your opponent. It is doing its damnedest to try to make like the damage stick. I was about to say that's a little bit of an egregious effect, but that is just insurance. It's gonna be funny, like the first 2 damage sticks and your opponent's like, oh, I don't get to snowball it 2 more times. Like, just really funny there. If it's canceled like twice, it still is like trying to hit you. I feel this is gonna be pretty cool because it would just be funny for like you just clear off 3 climaxes from the top of your opponent's deck like this. I just think it's hilarious, and then her damage goes through, which is even funnier. So really cool there, Kaju. All right, so we are getting on to the rares and lower. So I'm just gonna try to blitz through these as fast as I can. Place on stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a youth, add it in hand, discard a card. Very nice. Okay, so this is like a really good level 0. Also on play, you get to pitch a youth, draw a card. This is literally like the staple in like standby decks and stuff like that, to be able to just pitch all of your standby targets and everything, trying to like just draw as much as possible. Okay. We have a Chica. The Chica does have a soul trigger. During your turn, this gets 5k, so it's a 6 on attack. If you have another youth, pay 1. Put it on. Look at the top card of your opponent's deck, put it on top of their deck or in their waiting room, perform the following. Reveal the top card of your deck if it's a youth, send it to stock. It does a lot of weird stuff here, but I mean, you get to look at your like opponent's cards and stuff. Climax combo. Start of your encore if you have the choice. You have 2 or more others. And the slot across from this has either no character or reversed fever conditions, basically. Search your deck for up to 1 youth added to hand. Okay. Now, I do like this. You can resonate to give it an additional effect. So at the end of your opponent's next turn, this gains the following ability. During this turn, this gets 45. During your opponent's turn, this gets 15. Okay, I was on point with the buff until I realized, oh, that means she does not, unless you resonate, she doesn't get over anything. Okay, so we do have to talk about this. So, fever condition, for anybody who's unfamiliar with, is the clause of if either no character is across from this one, or the character across is reversed. That's what people refer to as the fever condition. It came up in Bang Dream years ago. They were trying for something, and they just made it sound fancy. It was the first time that I remember that condition being out, but if I'm wrong on that, I'm terribly sorry. To be able to search your deck, like the searching is really cool. It's also like at the start of your encore step, total like understandable like fever conditions and everything. But it stays at a 25. With a choice, it's a 35. If you do not use this resonate, or if you somehow have not drawn into this resonate target, this Kazuhiko, you are staying at 35, barring whatever else you have in the back row buffing. because only through that do you get the initial plus 45 power, which turns this from a base 25 to a 7k, 8k with a choice trigger. You're not going to reverse anything. Basically, you have to make certain that you're swinging into like fucking open lanes with this thing outright. And I'm like, that's crazy. So if you don't have more than likely you should. More than likely you should have the resonate. That's just really weird though. And then it's still weak. Like the 15 is like negligible. To quote Niji Sanji here, it's negligible. It gets 15, which makes it like a 4k defensively on your opponent's turn, which is nothing. I'm sorry, that's absolutely nothing. Cool. Whatever. It's it's free. You just have to have the card in hand. Moving on. Okay. Also, sorry, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. Moving on. During your turn, if you have another youth character. Okay, cool. Just nothing really of interest there. Kaju. During your turn, place and state from hand, battle opponent's reversed. Once again, there's a lot of stuff resonating with this Kazuhiko, and it's number 12, so it is coming up in a moment here. And I do know one other effect that has been talked about a lot in the community for it. When we get to it, obviously, I will make a big deal. I'm certain it's like a double rare anyway, so it's whatever. I was reading the Kaju. Okay, sorry. During this turn, place and state from hand, you resonate with the Kazuhiko. With the battle opponent, it becomes reversed. Put one card from the top of your deck into stock, then perform the following effect. You may draw one card if you do discard a card. Cool. Neat little thing. Place on stage from hand, choose one of the following two effects. All right, here we go. So 3/2 Ana. Your opponent sends all of their stock to their deck and shuffles their deck, then puts an equal number of cards on top of the deck into stock. The stock shuffle is cool, but we prefer stock swap in this household. I'm just saying. It's whatever. Draw up to 3, then discard the same amount. Like, okay, interesting. And she could do trigger check. Cool. Gotcha. All right, so here's the Kazuhiko down here. Brainstorm, Resonate. You have to reveal this freaking Kazuhiko as well for the Brainstorm, which is just your typical mill 4 for each climax. Look it up to 3. Choose a card amongst them out of hand. And you still have to rest this. So I've seen plenty of cards have this exact... like this brainstorms with this exact profile of the pay 1 tap self, look it up to for each mill 4 for each climax, look it up to 3 and choose a card amongst them. Like you perform that following action each time. That's just on normal freaking cards. If I also have to resonate for this while I'm still paying the normal cost, at least make it so I mill 5 or something, right? Like an extra card or something, right? Or maybe look it up to 4 cards instead. I don't know. Like, you're adding a cost. You're adding a condition. Give me more of a reward for it if I were to play this. I'm just saying. It's really dumb. People were probably not going to play this. It's an uncommon. People probably ain't going to play it to begin with. All right, the Kazuhiko that's been talked about so damn much. 0/0/15. On attack, you have a youth character 15. And then an act. It's just your typical helmet. Act, discard a card. Discard this card from your hand. Hello? Choose a youth character winner. Typically, this is sack from field, not discard this card from your hand. Once again, okay, Weiss tea time, if your translations are looking a little funky here, I don't know what to say. Typically, this is a you sack it off field. If this is just discard from your hand, that's interesting. That's kind of nuts. On an uncommon, like typically also like resonate targets are with 9 times out of 10, the higher rarity cards. Like rares and double rare. Like more often than not, they're double rares, but every now and then you do see like a rare or something. That's a resonate target. For just this uncommon to be the resonate target, it's kind of funky. Whatever. Kaju. Okay, the turn it's played on attack, pay 1, pitch 2, search for 2. Okay. I guess you don't have to worry about getting copies of this. Like with everything resonating off of them, you should be able to get like a playset of this. Like easy. For it being an uncommon. Stock Bomb, Chika, Asami. When a climax with a choice trigger is placed in your climax area, 2 or more other youth characters. Discard a card, look it up to 3, choose 1 card amongst them, add it to hand. Interesting. Also, it has a crit trigger. Place on stage, reveal the top card. Hello? Hello? What am I reading here? Chika, When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a youth character, place it on stage in any slot. So you would just need to have cards that let you top check or let you like constantly look at like a certain number of cards from the top of your deck. Or go look at the top 2, rearrange. That's insane. That's actually really cool. That's going to matter. I'm just calling it right now. 215. If there's a marker underneath, if there's a marker underneath this, it gets 10,500. Placed on stage, you can get the marker very easily. So, and then it's a bond with the particular. Yeah, it's a bond with the particular. So you can bond, get the Sosuke, which is, hold on. Oh, TD, it's a trial deck card it works with. Very cool. So you can grab that, and then you can put it underneath this as a marker, and now you have an 11K. Okay, there we go. Your typical, like, when Battle Opponent becomes reverse, rest one of your standing characters to salvage back a youth character. Assist to level 3 or 2K assist to level 3 or higher is very nice. Ooh, here we go. See, this is nice. Resonate the Kazuhiko, rest this, choose an opponent's front row character. It gets -1,000, and the following ability. During this card's battle, you cannot play backups from hand. You can still play events, but not backups. That's going to be very interesting on there. Obviously, because you have to target, if they have hexproof, it's not going to work on it, whatever. If your opponent has a level 3 or higher character, or you have 2 or less climaxes in your waiting room, this gets minus a level in hand. Okay, so I do like the fact that it is like multi-conditional. Typically, this is like one or the other. For like some early plays, it's typically one or the other. But the 2 or less climaxes in waiting room is a very like outdated condition. So I'm very, very happy that they added the if your opponent has a level 3 or higher. So, and it does heal from clock to stock. So that's cool. That's very cool. Lemon. I forgot why her name was Lemon. Also, it's a level 0 with 2 soul. Placed on stage from hand. This turn, this gets 5,500 power on the following ability. At the end of this turn. So does that make this worth it to like stand by this in or something since it has 2 souls? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to die. But it's a level 0 that becomes a 6K with 2 souls. But it just forcefully dies at the end of the turn. It's kind of whatever. Okay. I still like it. That's really cool. Already we are seeing interesting effects, interesting combinations of conditions, a lot of other things. Start your opponent's attack phase. Pay 1, move this to open position of your back row. This also bonds with the Kazuhiko that everybody needs. Apparently everybody wants the Kazu. The typical, like, no other characters mill 1 on attack. If it's a level 0, place it on back row. Oh, okay, so you basically get to do the effect twice. If you have no other characters and if you somehow are able to get this off, you're able to get like 2 level 0s on backstage just off the top of your deck. Once again, needing a card in this set that lets you like look at the top 2 cards of your deck and rearrange them or something along those lines feels very, very necessary for some of these cards. Anyway, Hibari. On play or on attack, give something 15. On play or on attack is actually really cool because in total you could give the same character 3K. So that's kind of nice. All right, cool. Chica Climax combo on attack if you have the choice. Till the end of your opponent's next turn. This gets the abilities when your other music is frontal. Oh yeah, they're all music trait. Fun. Wait, music. They're all youth and Makeine, so this has to be. I was going to say, wait a minute. No, it's not supposed to be music. It's supposed to be youth. Who copy-pasted this? When your other music character is frontaled. Unless there is like a music trait further down, at which point you have a climax combo all to yourself for this. Whatever. When this is reversed, you may reveal up to 3. Okay, cool. You can bounce that character back to hand and this sacrifices itself. Whatever. On reverse, reveal up to 3. Add a youth character to hand and then discard a card. Cost 0 lower stop bomb. Another level 1 with a soul trigger. 3K memory kick back up. Level 3 Slayer. It becomes like a 12, but it also resonates with the Kazuhiko to give up to 2 characters 2K power. And you could target herself, so she could become like a 14 level 3 Slayer. pretty nice, pretty nice. 3-1 event. If you have 2 or less youth characters, can be played from hand. Look at up to 15 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 youth character from among them. Place it on stage in any slot and send the rest to waiting room. For 1 stock? You just get to outright do that? Huh. See, I'm the kind of person who would then be looking in the set for, like, do you have any, 3 cost? Like, a 3 cost unit that would just let you, you could just summon for 1 stock? I mean, being able to summon other level 3s that typically cost 2 stock anyway is really nice. It just really depends on the card that you're trying to summon. Because, so this is, at that point, you're summoning it from the deck, because it's looking at cards from the deck. Technically, it's coming from the deck to stage, not hand to stage. Meaning if you had an on-play healer, it shouldn't proc those effects? I don't know. I would be very curious as to the ruling on that one. I could be wrong. If I am, I apologize. We got all the different choice triggers, and we're getting into green. So we have 2 green double rares. So the first we have is a 104k lemon. During your turn, this gets 1,000 power. Just give it the 1,000 power. Then it's just weird to have that. It's such a minute amount. It feels like it shouldn't even be there. Just make it a 5k. When this attacks, if you have the bar, you have another youth character. This gets 1,500 power, and the following 2 effects once each. Okay, so you do get both once each. So that does, with the gold bar, make her a 6k, make her a 7-5. Okay. You may send the bottom card of your deck to the waiting room. If that card is a youth character or an event, add it to hand. We've already seen really crazy events like this. I'm very curious as to what else is in the freaking deck. Or in the set, sorry. So being able to do that, that's so funky. It's so funky, like, to go, I'm going to mill cards from the bottom of my deck, but then, oh, look, it's characters, it's events, add it to my hand. Once again, if you have something that lets you rearrange and go, look at the top card of your deck, put it back on top of the deck or on the bottom of your deck, that makes this even more busted. Because then you can choose, like, oh, okay, cool, I know what the bottom card is or something, you know? Reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is level 1 or higher, send it to stock. If 0 or lower, leave it in its original position. So then you know that level 0 or lower card is going to go to your stock on attack. So it's going to go to they're both going to go to stock basically, but you can possibly build more stock. Very nice. Next is a 328k lemon. During your turn, this gets 4k. See, that's at least a big enough amount that it's understandable difference there. So it could become a 12k. Place on stage from hand, heal 1. When this attacks, if you have the bar, pay 1, pitch 1. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 3 amongst them, put them on top of your opponent's deck in any order, send the rest to waiting room, and this turn this gets 1,000 power. Very, very similar to the Mocha from Bang Dream, but that was only like the top 2 cards. But then you also got to arrange the top cards of your deck. This does not do your deck, it's just the opponent's. That's really crazy to be like, cool, let me look at the top 3. Oh, look, there's like a climax or 2 in there. Get it out, put the stuff that you know is going to be like damage sticking back on top of the deck, which is absolutely insane. And if you're like, oh, cool, I see it's all clean, I see it's all non-climaxes, just immediately put it back on top and just kill whatever, like just make that damage stick. That's kind of nuts. So, do like the lemons. We like lemon in this household, kids. We have meat ski and lemon. We have some memory shenanigans. We have an act of pay 1, send this to memory. Look it up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a youth amongst them. Show it to your opponent. Add to hand. Okay, cool. Then we have meat ski, chihaya, lemon, brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this. No weird resonate stuff for this set. Or for this set. This color. For each climax, search your deck for a youth character. Very nice. And I am reading like the lower stuff. It's still also a clock bomb as well. So I am reading this stuff. I'm just like highlighting the important effects. Not saying clock bomb isn't like an important effect. It's not as impactful as the brainstorm portion of it. See, this is what I was talking about for the Kazuhiko. Discard a card, send this to waiting room for like an act effect. To then choose a youth character in waiting room, add it hand. If that Kazuhiko actually does discard from hand for the effect and not have to be placed on stage, it's kind of dumb. That's kind of nuts, but I like it. Also, you could still play this, rest it, and then give a youth character 1,000 power till end of turn. So we have a possible early play limit. It's a 3/2, but if you have 4 or more youth characters, this is minus a level in hand. Place on stage from hand, heal up to 1. Then if you have another youth character, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 2 cards amongst them, place them on top of your deck in any order, and send the rest to waiting room. So we already do have a top checking effect that does matter. We've seen multiple effects that do that, so it's going to matter. So that's really cool. Having all that knowledge is a very good thing. Kudos. Kudos, Makeine. Let's see. On attack, give all of your characters if your trigger check is a gold bar, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Basically letting you discard the gold bars if necessary. So very good there. When this is reversed, send it to the bottom of your deck. I feel that warrants being said. Kind of funky there. Oh, that's actually interesting. If it goes to the bottom of your deck, but you don't refresh the following turn or you don't search the deck, then you know that level 1 will be like, oh cool, I know the bottom card of my deck is a character. Like you've just freshly refreshed. Ooh, you could swing with this into something. You could ram this into something on purpose. It goes to the bottom of the deck. The other level 1 that we saw, the climax combo lemon, this one. If it's a youth character or an event, that's so cool. Okay, so we do have some synergy. I'm not saying that is the gameplay, but it makes it so you could even reuse it. So on attack, you would give that other lemon the 1,500 power, give all of your characters the effect. Like say you have 1 copy of this and maybe 2 copies of that other level 1 lemon. Swing with this, do all the effects, give everything the trigger check reveals and all that jazz. Put this on the bottom of your deck. The first level 1 lemon combo that swings, you know for a fact this card is going back to your hand. That's kind of cool. I do like the synergy for that one. You know what? 2 claps. There we go. If that came through the mic, I don't know. Really cool. Yeah, it's on an uncommon, but it has the synergy. That's what I'm looking for. That's what we like to see, is the synergy. So we have a 2/1 lemon on attack. You can pay a cost to grab back a particular event that is a 3/2 event. So, interesting. On reverse, send this to memory. If you're level 2 or higher... Oh, in memory, you can pay 1, send this from memory to waiting room. If you're level 2 or higher, to summon a particular 3/2 lemon to 35? Which is your climax combo. The level 3 climax combo. Mono green, like 8-bar lemon seems like it's going to have some very interesting play. I like this already. All right. Because you don't have to discard like anything else. I mean, you discarded to get the event and whatnot. I wonder if the event is also going to have stuff with like stuff that's in memory, or maybe let you maybe gives the other 3/2 lemons some effects or something. That's really cool. We also have this lemon that is a 2k assist to level 3 or higher, so it makes the other one already bigger than it already was. Place on stage from hand, pitch 1, grab back a youth character. Very nice. Global 500 to youth. When you play a climax, give a character +1 soul. Placed on stage from hand, gets buff. When your battle opponent becomes reversed, or when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, give another character 1,000. Very cool. Placed on stage, basically, if your opponent only has like the 1 character in front row, you can make it send them to the. You can make them send it to the bottom of their deck. So just, nope, not today. Send when you pay the cost. When you pay the cost of an event in your hand, you may send 1 marker underneath this card to the waiting room instead of 1 stock. Like say the 3/2 stock, or the 3/2 stock, the 3/2 event. Does that mean it becomes a 1 cost event because you're sending a marker? I'm assuming that's what that means. Interesting, and then it also can give buff. Very cool. 2k backup. When you use the backup, if you have a youth, you or your opponent mills 3, you get to choose. I like the option of it. Like, making your opponent do the mill 3 is probably what you're going to do a lot of the time. But if you're like, oh, I know for a fact that I have a lot, there's like no climaxes left in deck, let me go ahead and mill through my deck faster. Like, having that option is very good. Battle opponent becomes reverse. Okay, this can early play, so it can come out at level 1. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, you can sack the bar. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 3 youth characters amongst them to hand. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets 2k and character encore. So it'll be at 85 as early as level 1, like 85 defensively. All right, here's the 3-2 event. If you don't have a copy of this in memory, and you have a rare Mitsuki and Lemon in memory, which I think is one of the zeros that went to memory for an effect, all of your double rare lemons currently on stage gain 3k power and an accelerate ability, which those lemons do heal. Okay, but then you're also able to play this anyway. On attack, accelerate. Put the top card of your deck into clock, and if you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Which is interesting, because like best case scenario, you could do this after you do the climax combo, and then make it so like, okay, cool. I somehow looked at the top 3 cards of my opponent's deck. Best case scenario here, I make them mill 2 climaxes off rip, put 1 guaranteed damage back on top, and then you accelerate to make certain that sticks. Then it's whatever if her damage sticks after that is, up for the universe to decide. So interesting. Okay, that's fun. That's really funny artwork there. So that is all the gold bars. All right, now we're getting to the reds. So we have Chica. We have 2 double rares. So the first one is a 1/0/4K Chica. If all of your characters are youth, this gains 2k. Constant. Thank you. So that means at cross turn, she's a 6k. She's not this weak 3 or 4k little turd. On attack, if you have the door, you can pitch 1. If you have another youth character, you can pay the cost. If you do, perform the following effect twice. Mill 2, then choose up to 1 level X or lower youth character in your waiting room. Add it to hand. X is equal to the sum of levels of cards milled by this effect. This is what people typically refer to, like this particular like mill 2 and salvage is typically what people refer to as the cigarettes effect. It's from a way earlier set. I think it was Fate. But there was an event that did basically something similar. So this is really cool that you can do it twice. I do like that. So very nice there. There's a 3/2/5/5 Chica. If you have 4 or more youth, this can early play. If you have 2 or more other youth, this gains 5k, so it's a 10/5. Placed on stage from hand, if you have 2 or more other youth, you can pay 1. If you do, heal 1. Or no, you heal 1, then you can pay 1. Sorry, I read that backwards. So you get to heal 1 regardless. Then you have the option of pay 1. If you do, perform the following effect. Heal up to 2, then deal 1 damage to yourself X times. X is equal to the number of cards sent to the waiting room by this effect. Why would you do that? Why would you heal the 2 only to deal 2 damage to yourself? I'm very confused. I mean, you get a heal 1 anyway, but that doesn't make you deal damage to yourself. It's this one that you get to pay. Are you trying to color fix at that point? I would almost question if it's like a trying to color fix thing, which is odd. I don't understand the reasoning behind this. Maybe it will reveal itself as we go through more of the cards. So we are 55 cards in, so we're over halfway. So blue must be huge. Okay, choose one of your other use. This gains 2k at the start of your opponent's attack phase. Put the top card of your deck into clock. And you can move it back row, whatever. Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this. Mill 4 for each climax. Salvage back. It also has a pay 2, rest this to heal 1. So already Chica has several healing effects. Interesting. Yumiko. Your typical oversized 35. It can run in front, but you cannot play events or backups from hand while it's on the field. Interesting. Koto. The turn this is placed on stage from your hand. When a climax with a door trigger is placed in your climax area, and you have another youth character, discard a card. Choose 1 climax with a door trigger in your waiting room. Add it to hand. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gains the following ability. When your other character is frontaled, pay 1, sack this, return that character to hand. Okay? All right, then we have a 2/2 Chica, so we have some standby shenanigans. So it is an assist in front of 1,000. During your climax phase, when this is placed on stage by the effect of the standby, and you have another youth character, you can pay 1, sack the standby. If you do, choose one level 2 or lower youth character in your waiting room, place it on stage in any slot. So you're summoning this off the standby, it like backstage, and now it's assisting whatever characters are in front, and you summon like another 2/2 target or something. So could very well be something like that. Very interesting. We'll have to see what other cards we see. So we have more Karens, 2 or more other use. This gains. What is this number? What am I reading here? I definitely need to go finish this anime. Her attack is 7,680. But if you have 2 or more other youth characters, she gains 4,320. Okay. I have to do basic math. I think that makes her a 12k. Because plus 4 to 7 would be 11. 711. And then if you add up all the other ones, it's going to add 1,000 at the very end here. So it should be 12. Place on stage from hand, draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's front row characters against negative 2k. What? That's a flavor thing. It's got to be a flavor thing. That's funny. Start of your encore step, climax combo. Also on play, draw 2, pitch 2, put a 1 card top of deck to stock. But you pay it out instantly. Start of your encore step. You have the door. Pay 1, pitch a youth, deal 3 damage to your opponent. Interesting. Okay, just outright, not horrible. Oh, so you don't pay it out instantly. So you get the stock, but so you probably want to pay that out with something else. Then you swing with your other stuff, and then at the beginning of Encore, you get to pay other stuff out, and then just burn 3. So, interesting. Let's see. If you're level 3 or higher, this gains an act to summon this to its former slot. Interesting. On attack, level 2 Slayer, so she get big. She gets big anyway. She becomes a 55 and then gets plus 6. She's like 11-5. Start of your opponent's draw phase. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level or higher, bounce it back in hand. Or bounce this. I don't know. It almost looked, I'm assuming it's just the lighting, but it almost looked like she just dyed her hair a different color right there. Because it's like the darkish brownish red. And there it's like just solid black. So maybe she, I don't know. For each marker underneath this card, when your other character... So she gets... For each marker underneath this card, this gains the ability to give all others 500 power. So that stacks. When your other character is reversed, if there are 3 or less markers under this, you may put the 1 card from the top of your deck underneath this face up as a marker. So it could eventually become a 1,500 assist, global 15. Sorry, it's not even assist because it's just all. So it could become a global 15, but you blind every single one of those, so you don't know if you're just like sitting on other stuff. All right, here's the other 2/2 that you could summon off the other climax combo. If all of your characters are youth, this gains 25. So it's a 95, but then also it's getting like a 1k buff, I think, from the other one. So pretty cool. When this attacks, you could pay 2, pitch 1, burn 1. That feels weird, because typically they try to match like some kind of cost to the amount of damage getting pumped out. Yes, I know this is on a level 2, whatever, but it just feels like I feel it shouldn't be 2 stock. I feel it should be like a 1 stock and discard a card to burn 1. Like that's still more, but it feels better instead of I'm pitching 3. I'm getting rid of 3 resources to burn 1. Feels weird. Anyway. Moving on, 500 assists. Choose one of your other youth characters. This card's battle opponent becomes reversed. Salvage back a character. Okay. Place on stage from hand. Cool. What was your reverser? Konami? Hold on now. I have words. Okay, so this is like the memory decompress thing. On play, all players resolve the following effect. If you have 5 or more memory, choose 4 cards in your memory, send all other cards to the waiting room. So it's like your opponent's like trying to stack up on a bunch of cards in memory for compression. You're like, no sir, not today. Free 2k backup. Your typical 1/1 standby target becomes a 1/175 with character encore. This has a memory effect. One, it has an effect when it gets reversed to do something and then send it to memory. Then when it's in memory, if you're level 2 or higher, you can summon... You can pay 1, send this from memory to waiting room to summon the 3/2 Chica from earlier. And we have a level 2/3 cost event. This is a money counter. If you have 5 or more youth characters, choose one battling character. It gets the battling character, basically your opponent's character, it cannot deal damage to players. And you also give your character 1500 power. Or you can choose one of your characters, give it 1500 power. This is literally Darkness Plan, but on red. For anyone who doesn't know Darkness Plan, go check out Two Love. All right, and we are down to the blues, and we have two blue Vortex. We have 2 blue double rares. We have a 00500 Ana. When your other character is reversed, if you have 2 or more other youth characters, you may draw 1 card. If you do, discard a card. All right. Brainstorm, pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each climax. Choose it to 1 character in your waiting room, add it to hand. Every single color has had some kind of brainstorm, and all of them have been different at this point. Like, that's actually really cool, and I commend that. All right, 3/2/10K. Oh, this is it. This is the card from the first line of text. Oh, this is so dumb. Okay. This 3/2/10K Ana. First effect. So dumb. This is so dumb, but it's so funny. If this is in your memory, you do not lose by being level 4. You will lose if you reach level 5. If this is sent to the memory due to a card effect besides its own effect, send this to the waiting room, okay? At the end of this card's attack, if you have the pants trigger, choose one of the following 2 effects and resolve it. Either you get to burn for 2, I'm saying the second effect first, either burn for 2 for free, which is nice, or pay 5. Put the top 3 cards of your deck into clock. That's a lot. During the turn this was placed on stage from hand, you can pay the cost. So it also has to be the same turn. It's not like you can stand by this in and do it later. They thought about that. You know what? Kudos. You may pay the cost, and if you do, send this to memory. You do deal 3 damage to yourself, though, which is kind of nuts. But yeah, they made it so they standby proofed it, so to speak, so you can't do those kinds of shenanigans, which is crazy. Maybe there's something else in here that still, lets you play it early or something. I don't know. Like maybe we've seen a really cool event in every single color. We'll have to see. Place the stage from hand. You can discard a card, reveal the top card. If it's a level X or lower, add a character back from... Well, I just butchered that entire thing. Redo. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. Salvage back a character from your waiting room equal to the level of the revealed card. Okay. Chihaya. Battle opponent becomes reversed. You may send this to memory. If you do at the start of your next draw phase, choose this card from memory, place it on any stage. On any position of the stage. Not any stage, sorry. The face is cute. The face is funny. Play during your turn. It's a 2/0. During your turn, it's a 10K. When it's placed on stage, put up to 1 card from the top of your deck into stock. Then put 1 card from the top of your deck. Underneath this is a marker. When this card with a marker is sent from stage to waiting room, send this to clock. Pay 1, choose a marker underneath this, send it to waiting room. What is all this text? Because you get to you do this. Okay. On play, you blind stock 1, and then you put a marker underneath. But then you just have an act. So you either get free stock and maybe run the risk of dealing yourself damage. So it's the option of free stock. That's what it is here. Which I'm assuming that level 2, the level 3 that requires like 5 stock, maybe this helps with it. I don't know. Because you could just immediately pay out the 1 blind stock you just did and then get rid of the marker. So that way, when it dies, because it's going to be a 2K during your opponent's turn, that way you don't deal yourself a damage. But it has to be, I'm assuming that's an effect to just build up stock for this monstrosity. So I'm assuming that's what that is. During your turn, this gets 6K. This has 2 souls, by the way. When this is reversed, send it to memory. If you're level 2 or higher, choose up to one of the other 3 to Ana. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. 77? Yes. Okay, we do have a way to early play her. Okay. So, if you are level 2 or higher, so when this gets reversed, you send it to memory. If you are somehow still level 2, you could, and I very loosely say could. Oh, so you could stand by this in at like level 1. Reverse with it. Or let it get reversed. It goes into memory. You're at level 2 now. And then you could summon that Ana early. Okay, so it's not 100% standby proofed, but it does have some shenanigans that it can do. And it also has 2 soul, which just kind of makes it feel like it's a standby target to begin with if you're going to be doing all those shenanigans. 3/2 Ana. For each youth character in your level zone, this gets 2k. So this matters because you could get 4 characters in your level zone and not die. Meaning she could get 8,000. Now, that's under those circumstances. To which she will be a 14/5, but under normal circumstances, she can at least become a 12/5, which is still huge. On play, draw 2, discard 2, blind stock 1. On attack, you can discard 2. If you have 2 or more other youth characters, deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to 1 if you have 3 or less youth characters in your level zone. It is equal to 2 if you have 4 or more. Oh, okay. So this also gets stronger with the other shenanigans going on that make it so you can go up to level 5. It feels like a lot just to be like either burn 1 or burn 2. It's kind of funky, but it does work with that. Okay. Tiara. Place on stage from hand. Choose your opponent. Oh, cool. Makes it so screws over your opponent's standby stuff. It doesn't stand, so it could also fuck over your opponent's... well, no, because it's specifically level higher than your opponent's level, so it's standby targets. I was going to say it could fuck with brainstorms, but no, that's not it. I'm sorry. Place on stage your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a youth, put it in okay, cool. It just gets big. The look of fear. At the start of your encore step, if you have another youth character, pitch 1, send the pants. If you do look at 2 cards on the top of your deck, choose 2 youth characters amongst them added to hand. Then choose up to one of your opponent's level 0 or lower characters, send it to waiting room. Okay, this matters because you could hit your opponent's back row. You could go like, oh, that's a nice brainstormer you have there, and gone. That's kind of funky. You can also rest this to do shenanigans. Because you could do... Oh, wait. If you have 2... So you could just sit with these in the backstage and just every time your opponent plays like a level 0 in their backstage or whatever, just keep sniping it. That's funny. Well, okay, you can't do it with 2. Sorry, because you do have to sack the pants. You can only do it once a turn. Never mind. Still, that's funny. Okay, we have a level 1 anti-change. You discard 2 cards, put it on the bottom of the opponent's deck. Interesting. Hello, madam. Sayo. I don't remember you from Bang Dream. Hold on now. Play. Oh, so this also works off the teacher effect. Because she is not she doesn't have youth. She just has teacher. Draw 1, pitch 1 on attack of your other youth or teacher. Gets 15 character encore. Okay. Wonder if there's other teacher cards maybe further down or in the trial deck or something. Battle opponent becomes reversed. If you have a climax, you can put 1 card from the top of your deck into stock. Up to X power. Level assist. Act. Discard a card. Rest this. Choose a character. Return it to hand. Interesting. I mean, for certain level 0s and stuff, I could see doing that because then you could have reused effects or something. If this card is in your front row center slot, it gains 3. Place on stage from hand. Pay 2. Choose an opponent's character. Return to hand. So, a little bit of removal. Okay. Lots of buff. Another brainstorm of just rest this. That doesn't have any stock cost. Flip the top 2 cards of your deck over, then send them to the waiting room in any order. Then your opponent mills X cards. X is equal to the level of the second card sent to the waiting room by this effect. Oh, so it's just a way to make your opponent mill. Okay, so you could be like, cool, I'm going to send this level 3 second. You have to mill 3 cards. Times the level of the first cards. Ooh, so if you somehow milled 2 level 3s off of that, 3 times 3, make them send 9. That's funny. Okay. Makes it so other characters can't move. Costs your bottom deck reverser. If you have a Yumiko, this gains 3k. Place on stage from hand. Put the top card of your deck into clock if you do. Grab the 2/0 Yumiko. Place it on stage in any slot. Okay. 2 or more other used character. Once again, these weird fucking number things. 3840 plus 2160 should be just 6,000. So she should just be a 6k with Youth Encore from Waiting Room. Then a Chihaya. Okay, cool. It's bottom, and it's an anti-change bottom decker. We have another Yumiko. Oh, 2/0 Yumiko. If you have another Tiara, this gains 5k. All of your other Tiara get 2k. Oh, is this the one that's supposed to work with the other? Okay. If you have another Tiara, this gains 2k. All of your other Tiara gain 2k. So she's at 85. And this particular Tiara becomes a 7? Basically for free. Because this does summon it. Oh, you take yourself a damage. Okay, kind of funky. All right, then lastly we have a 1/0 counter event. 2 or less youth can't be played. This can be played without meeting color requirements, so you can run this in any versions of the deck, no matter what. Look at it with 4 cards on the top of your deck. Choose a youth character, add it enhance, and the rest of the waiting room. Then we had the pants. Okay, cool. Oh, we have some promos. Cute little zombie promo because her skin's blue. I don't know. Her name's Eiffel65 now. 2 or more other youth characters. This gains the weird clause of plus 2,160. So she's like a 6k. Oh, it's the one we just mentioned. It's literally this one. It's literally this one. Okay, cool. But it's just alternate art with blue skin for some reason. Whatever. Do you, girl. Okay, so we have some other promos. I wonder if any of these will be applicable. Sent from stage to waiting room. Oh, this actually is really good. This is actually a really good one. This is like Fubuki. On death, discard a card, look it up the top 4, add a level 1 or higher card amongst them to hand. Or else go to waiting room. If your opponent has a level... Okay, so this is a identical copy of that other early play. And now we're into the trial deck. Okay, so quickly to go through this because I realize we're getting on to about an hour here. Typical Brainstormer. You get to... okay, this does let you do some top check shenanigans, where I was talking before about needing to top check for other effects. When your other youth character is placed on stage, or when she is, you can look at the top card of your deck. You just get to see what it is. You get a little bit of knowledge, and you can kind of play based off that. Mill 2, if there's a climax, you get to look at 4 cards, choose the one youth character on the show your opponent, add it a hand. Okay, cool. Drop Searcher Karen. Coin flip effect to bounce itself back to hand. And vanilla. A 1/0 with a soul trigger. She gets big during your turn. When it attacks, you can sack a different youth character, reveal the top card of your deck if it's a youth character, add it to hand. A 2/1 that basically becomes a 13/5. A 3/2 that, if all of your characters are youth, becomes an 11 with a youth encore, and you can heal 1. Level 3 combo. Alright, so placed on stage, you get to dig up to the number of your youth characters. Counts yourself. On attack, if you have the choice in play, you can discard a card. If you do this turn, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a youth character or an event, stand this, and this turn it gets 1,000 power. So this is one way where that top check effect would definitely matter. So you're like, okay, cool. I see that it's a youth character. Cool. I swing with this one first to go ahead and get the effect and stand it, which is really cool. Then we have Climax Swapper. Oh, that's a good point. We haven't seen a single Climax Swapper this whole time. So the Climax Swapper is in the deck. Very fun. Extremely cool. We have free range shenanigans going on here. And it's a bottom deck 0 reverser on top of everything else. Works with the Shintaro Vanilla. Oh, it's the typical like bond and it gets big. On attack, give a character 25. You can give it to itself, but you can give it to something else as well. Level 1 Climax combo. Battle opponent becomes reversed if you have the pants, perform the following effect twice. Mill 1 if it's a youth character or a particular event coming up. Added to hand. Very nice. Just outright, you get to... This is basically Sanosuke, but on a pants trigger instead of the draw, the stock soul. I was going to say draw. I was like, wait a minute. If you have another Karen, this gets 2k power. During your opponent's turn, this gets -2. What the fuck? When this card's battle opponent gets reversed, you can draw a card. Very funny. It's basically like a 10-5 for like a turn. 3,500 backup. Sorry, your typical vanilla backups. I say vanilla because it's just one of those like trial decks only really have this. Level assist. The event is a counter brainstorm. If you have 2 or more other used characters, choose a youth character waiting room, send it to stock. Flip over the top 3 cards of your deck, then send them to the waiting room. If all of those cards are youth, put the top card of your deck into stock. It's some extra stock production, and if you're able to get this to pop off during your turn, like it's interesting to do on your opponent's turn, because then you could, if you know you're like, oh, I'm out of climaxes, I know all of this will work, I get like 2 free stock because of this. So it's very situational. But if you do it on your turn, you could still play it and then go get 2 stock basically for free if the second effect works. Oh, youth characters or copies of this particular event. So it does work that way too. And you just get like 2 free stock. Interesting. That's actually very interesting. And then this crazy spit take pants. And that is going to be it. We are going to go back over here. And I am going to show off the shiny stuff. Time to look at the shiny. So this is the SP from the trial deck of the Ana. Very cute. And we're just going to showcase everything. We have the Lemon SP. Very cute. I don't think there was... Oh, no, there was a Chica. Very nice. All right, so then I'm just going to go through this as I get my thoughts. So my thoughts are as such. Okay, this is foil. Oh, this little interesting thing. This is the Climax. This is really funky to see this. So what rarity is this? AGR? Okay, cool. So I'm interested in the set. I'm very interested in the set. It has some funny shenanigans that I feel you can work around. And that you can do. There's several deck builds also. It's not like there's one specific set, like one specific deck build that you have to run, otherwise it's poo-poo. Very, very cute SP. There seems to be a lot that you can do. Another Ana is holding the little Weiss card, really cool there. It's also zoomed out just a smidgen, but you get to see the entire actual signature. Very nice. The secret rare, ooh, very nice. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. We got the triple rare pluses for all of these. It's like full arts plus like a little bit of foiling on the symbols and on the names and stuff. Really cool there. It seems to be a lot that you can work with, and I do like that, and I'm always down for that. I hate when it's like, okay, very cute. I hate when you pick up a new like a new set drops and it's like this one deck is viable and everything else is poo-poo. I like it. They're very cute. Hiding behind the card. It's just like, I don't know if I want to give you this card. It's Pot of Greed. Anyway. Also, there's a lot of signature right there. There's also like some quotes and stuff too. That just is like, I'm done with your BS. Oh no, she's doing like the goldfish catching, right? I think that's what it is. Oh yeah, like the goldfish scooping or something. I don't know. I like it when you can pick up a set and it looks like it has multiple variations that you could do. And that's really nice. I know there's always going to be like a meta pick or a meta build from it. And that's cool. but I like having the other options of stuff that could possibly be cheaper. So, very nice. I'm going to cast Raigeki on your ass. I don't know why. That's just the first thing that came to mind. Or she's like, I'm playing this card. She is ready to... It's either that or you have activated my counter event or something, right? I don't know. So, and she apparently wants to be your mummy. I don't know. Also, the tan lines. They know what they were going for. So, more of the triple rares and whatnot. Triple rare pluses, I should say. Sorry. So there seems to be multiple options. The Resonate seems really excessive in yellow. The Gold Bar, I think, is going to be really popular. I know the pants one with the I push myself to... You have to push me to level 5 BS. I feel that is going to be like the thing people are going to be trying to meme with. And I think the 8 bar is probably going to be the more fun build. At least from a glance. Like, obviously, I haven't done any research into the set outside of this. So I don't know what else is going to happen. It's really cute there. Like the basically being a ghost and everything. So I don't know what could possibly happen, but I definitely want to know where it goes. And that's the last secret rare. Hold on. So that's SP. All right. So these are the last two, and that's the secret rares. So we will end on the funny card. We'll end on the very, very funny blue level 3. I feel that is definitely the one that people are going to meme and try to do that. So here's another thing. It's like, oh, I've just made it so you have to push me to level 5 now. What if that causes you to go over time? How viable of an option of running that is it with double loss being in play? At that point, I do feel you would go to like the 8 bar list instead, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. All right, here we go. We're gonna end on this one. Maybe that's just me, but because you're extending it by one more level, you are dealing yourself some damage. Sure, that's totally fine. But if that doesn't push you to level 4, then your opponent still has to put in work. So if this somehow goes off and you are like right at the beginning of level 3 when this goes off, and you do this and cool, I dealt myself 3 damage. I'm at worst, even if you don't early play it as well. Once again, there's a 2 that could early play it. If you hard cast this at level 3, you're 3-0, you do the combo, cool, you're 3-3. But I'm only level 3 with 3 damage. You still have to push me for a whole other level plus 4 more damage to win the game. That's still major. Like, that's still kind of crazy. So I can see why this would be like making waves for some stuff. I'd love to see some deck builds preemptively for this leading up to the set dropping, which should be, it was said it was in February. I'm sorry, future me, maybe I'll put it up on screen. But there seems to be other decks that could be built from it, so I'm very curious as to the routes that people will go. Please feel free to share your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you think this is viable in a double loss meta? Like, do you feel that this, I mean, when people are still running the freaking Miko Sora deck that is like just neg soul, like, okay. Like, people were doing that, and, you know, with that, and negative soul seems to be like a bad idea with double loss being a thing. So maybe people are going to play whatever the hell they want to play. Let's be real. So that's also cool. So, yeah, that is going to be it. My overall impressions, I like this set. I do very much like this set, and I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm so glad that it's actual SPs confirmed for English, because we saw the English cards for them. That makes me so happy, because I'm tired of seeing the hot stamp stuff. That's just me personally. But also, like I said, neat little effects and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to personally be building anything from it. The next thing that I want to pick up is Eminence and Shadow. There's nothing else I really want to build before then, I'm going to be honest. Even outside, like, the other thing possibly would be like Don. And Don to Don. I can words. Creepy Nuts intensifies. I maybe want to build something from that. I'm still debating on it. Depends on what other stuff people pick up for it. I don't know. The only other thing I really want, I have to wait till like April for. This is like 5 months out as the recording of this. So, kind of sucks, but I like this. If I had nothing else that I would want to build from, if Imminence of Shadow wasn't a thing, I could see myself picking up this set. I could see myself trying to do something, if nothing else, like with the trial deck or something, right? Or like the 8-bar list or something, right? I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see, and like I said, feel free to comment down below what you think you'll be running, what you think you'll possibly be trying to build, or what you think would be viable to run in this meta. So that is going to be it for us. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all the cringy YouTuber shenanigans, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Remember to stay safe and stay based.